Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the Techish, and in this video I'm going to be solving the 2021 Elective ICT Practical WASSCE question. To be specific, the question number 3, which is a QBASIC question. But before we actually get started, I would appreciate if you could support my channel by giving this video a thumbs up and also hitting the subscribe button and the bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So without any further delays, let's get started with this tutorial. Alright, so now we are back once again, and this is the question we have on our screen. So the question number 3, and it says a palindrome is a word which reads the same backwards as forward. Examples are race car, civic, refer, madam, noon, and otto. Okay, so it also says write a QBASIC program that accepts a word and displays on screen whether the word is a palindrome or not. Save the program as palindrome in the folder created on the desktop. Okay, so in my previous video I created a folder like this on my desktop, so I'm not going to create it again. If you don't know how to do it, then just go and watch my previous video. But this is the folder I'm going to be saving my program in, so I've already done that. Now let's just move straight forward to typing in the code, right? So we open up our IDE, and as usual I'm going to type in the solution to the problem, and afterwards I'll give you an explanation of how things work. So now just sit down, relax, and enjoy as I type. Alright, so now this is the solution to the program, as you can see, and now it's time for me to explain it. Okay, so line 1 is a comment. I explained it in my first video. Line 2 contains CLS, which is a keyword, a command actually in the language standing for clear screen. It's used to clear the output screen. Line 3 contains an input command which prompts the user to enter a word, and whatever word the user enters gets stored in this variable. So if you've noticed, there's a $sign after the variable name. Now whenever you're storing a string, basically a series of characters, you always have to add a $sign after the variable name. But when you're storing a numerical data type, so a number, a decimal, whatever numeric data type you're storing in, you don't need to add a $sign. So that is like a differentiation between a string variable and then a numerical variable. Alright, now the for loop on line 5, what it does is, in a brief way to say it, it basically takes the word entered by the user and then it reverses it. Now as to how it does it, I'll explain it in a moment, but let's go on to line 9. So line 9 takes the word entered by the user and then it compares it to whatever the reverse word is. So if they are the same, then it means that the word is a palindrome. If they are not the same, then it means that the word isn't a palindrome. So that is simply how this program works. Now let me explain how this for loop really works, and then we are going to test it and save the file, right? So now let's go back to our notepad application. And so let's pick one example. So let's pick something like let me see, civic. Okay, so let's pick civic. So let's come here. Let's say that the user entered civic as the word. So let's say word with the $sign is equal to civic. So this is what the user has entered. This is an assumption. Okay. Now when we get to line 5, it says for I is equal to learn word. So what is learn word? Basically, learn word is a function in the language which returns the number of characters stored in a string. So in this case, when we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it means that this string contains 5 characters. So learn word is going to be equal to 5, which is also equal to I, the capital I we have over here. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now let's continue. It says, so for I is equal to learn word to 1, step minus 1. So what is happening is the for loop is going to decrement. So it's going to decrease from 5 to 1. But in order for it to do that, we need to tell it how to do it. So we add step minus 1, which means that decrement from 5 to 1 step at a time. So 5 minus 1 will make it 4, 4 minus 1 will make it 3, all the way to 1. So that is what the step minus 1 is for. Now on line 6 we have reverse word is equal to reverse word plus this weird stuff which I'm yet to explain. So here's what is actually going on. So let's first type this reverse underscore word variable. So reverse word is currently an empty string like this. Nothing is inside this string. Okay, so you can see there is a dollar sign to specify that it's a string variable. So nothing is in it. Then we have this other function here made with a dollar sign, and it has word capital I and then 1. So now this is equivalent to this. So it's equivalent to this made with a dollar sign civic 5 and then 1. This thing we have over here is the same thing as this. So the word with the dollar sign is now replaced by whatever the user entered. I, which is equal to 5, is now replaced over here, and 1 is here. So what are these parameters? What do they really mean? So here's what this function does. It takes a word and then it takes the starting index, and then the number here, it specifies how many characters to take out of the word. So in this case we are saying that we are telling the method to take this word, start from the 5th index of this word and take out 1 character at a time. That is what this really means. So here's what really happens. Reverse word is equal to reverse word plus this function contains about 3 parameters here. So here's what happens. So let me copy this. So it means that reverse word is equal to this, is equal to this so far. So here's what it really does. So it takes the 5th index, so 1 2 3 4 5. So C is the 5th index, and then the one over here is telling us to take only 1 character at a time. So at the end of the day, it's going to return only a C, and then this C is going to be added to this reversed word variable. So reverse word is now going to be whatever it is plus the C that has been returned from this function. So you can see it says reverse word is equal to the empty string it is plus whatever this function has returned, which is a C, and the final result is going to be C, because we are adding an empty string to a string which contains C. So now the empty string now contains C. So this is the final thing, and at the end of the day we have reverse word is equal to C. Now the step minus 1 comes into play and it decrements this by 1, so it's now going to become 4. Now I2 is also 4, and now reverse word is also C. It's not an empty string anymore, so this here also changes to 4, right? Now what are we saying now? We are saying that take this word, start from the 4th index and pick only 1 character. So what's the 4th index? The 4th index is I, so this function is going to return I this time. Now reverse word is equal to whatever it is. So reverse word is currently C plus whatever this function has returned, which is now I, which is now going to be CI. So this is going to be the final result for the reverse word, and at the end of the day, this is what we have. The reverse word is equal to CI. Now the same thing occurs step minus 1, so 3, right? And then reverse word is no longer C but CI. And then here also changes to 3. The same thing goes on. What's the 3rd index? Vein. So reverse word is equal to reverse word plus the character returned by this function, which is a vein, finally resulting in this CIV. So this is the result now, and then it continues again. So it goes on to 2. Reverse word becomes CIV. This changes to 2, and now it picks the 2nd index, which is I. So the same thing goes on. Now you can see that it's forming the word, right? So this is what is forming so far. So reverse word is equal to CIV plus I, resulting in this, and then we have this. Now it finally gets to 1, and now reverse word is equal to CIVI, and this also changes to 1. So this is going to start from the 1st index and pick only 1 character. So the 1st index is a C, and it's only picking a C. So reverse word is equal to CIVI plus the 1st index, which is a C, resulting in the word CIVIC, civic. So reverse word is now equal to civic And that is how this for loop reverses a word entered by the user. And after it has reversed it, it comes to line 9 and it says, okay, so is the word entered by the user the same as the reverse word? If it is, then yes, it's a palindrome. If it isn't, then no, it's not a palindrome. So that is how the program works. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this program with the examples we have over here. So we have race car, civic, refer, madam. So let's use about 3 examples. All right, so let's run it and see. So we are starting with let's start with madam. Yeah, so it says madam is a palindrome. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try the civic we use. So yeah, civic is a palindrome. Let's try race car. Race car, yes, race car is a palindrome. Now let's try something that isn't a palindrome. So something like dog, dog. Now when you reverse it, it will be god, and of course that is not a palindrome. So you can see that this program is working correctly. And yeah, so the next thing to do is to now save it as palindrome in the folder created on the desktop. So to do that, you go over here to file, click on save as, and then you should see something like this. So in order to locate the folder created on your desktop, just double click on the C drive with a colon. So double click on it and then look for users and then your PC username. So in this case, mine is the Turkish, but yours should be different based on what you named it. And when you click on it or double click on it, you look for desktop, which is over here, and then the folder you created. So in this case, DD with a index number. So yeah, and now the question said we should save it as palindrome. So yeah, and hit on OK. And that is it. So let's check to see if we've really saved it. So let's open this folder, and you can see we have palindrome. Prime was the video I made in the prime file is the one I made in my previous video, and this is the current one we just saved. So that is pretty much it for this, and I hope you guys understood everything. If you did, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button and the bell. Follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. The link is going to be in the description below. So see you guys in my next video, and bye for now.